Today, I'm gonna make alien repellent. M-41 pulse rifle. For this build, I used EVA foam, craft foam, scrap EVA foam, scrap PVC pipe cutter, super glue, hot glue, cutting tools, sanding tools, safety gear, scissors, razor pens, and a box cutter. So the actual movie prop was an old WW2 Thompson SMG with a bunch of aluminum plating welded over the top of it to make it look more sci-fi-ish. Luckily, I made one of those out of foam and cardboard years ago, like 12 years ago, so I dug that up out of storage and traced it onto cereal box cardboard so I can make a duplicate without destroying my original prop. This is one of my favorite sci-fi blasters. I'd meant to acquire one years ago, but the price of the Nerf version never came down, and finally I was just like, why don't I just make my own? That came out very sloppy, so I refined the lines with the straight edge. Then I cut it out. I separated the handle from the body because they're supposed to be different widths, and it's just easier to work with like this. Trace the body onto foam 3 times. That notch is for the magazine, but it's going to be buried so far inside the M41A's casing that it's not actually necessary to include. It just depends on how much functionality you want. I'm kind of splitting the difference. You have to understand that with movie props, there's multiples. There's duplicates that do different things for different scenes. In fact, none of the blasters in the actual movie were even fully functional. There were only 2 that fired, and of those, only one of the barrels actually worked. So do with that what you will. Then I traced the handle onto foam 2 times, flipping it so that the pattern would be on the opposite side. It actually makes for a good grip pattern. I usually have it on the outside when I do the blasters, but it doesn't match the grip on the M41A, so for this build, it'll be hidden on the interior. I cut those out, including the trigger guard. When the 2 handle pieces were cut out, I glued them together with hot glue. I'm gonna set that aside and let it dry while I go back to the body. I built up the walls using hot glue and scrap foam so that I would have an empty space on the interior. I decided not to use the middle body portion. This will create room on the inside for a barrel, which will keep it from sagging and give me the option of adding a slide mechanism for the bolts, which can be done using PVC and a rubber band. Speaking of, I measured a piece of PVC pipe to the length of the Thompson barrel and cut it using a PVC cutter. Hacksaw also worked. I took a length of dowel and glued it into the cavity with hot glue. Before closing it, I made additional cutouts to the last body panel, one for the shell ejector and one for the slide. I used a hole punch for the rounded ends because they'll come out cleaner that way as opposed to if I'd used a knife. I only used a knife for the straight edges on this build. Then I glued it on top. I weighted it down with metal machinist blocks, which will not only help it hold in place, but as the glue dries, the blocks, being metal, will help to disperse the heat. While they're drying, I'm going to move back to the handle, which should be good by now. I cut off the harsh edges of the handle with a work knife. This is a preliminary step to sanding it, and it'll speed up the process of rounding the handle. Not to mention cut down on the dust. First, I sanded the guard interior with my rotary tool. Then for the outer edges, I brought it over to the belt sander. Although you could use the rotary tool on the whole thing. Definitely in that back notch right there. Belt sander can't get there. By now the body glue is set up, so I was able to go right ahead and attach the handle. I don't know why I put glue in the front right there. That's totally unnecessary. But I caught that mistake in time. I was able to just flatten it out with the metal block. And I also used them to hold the handle in place while the glue dried, because the foam weighs nothing compared to the blocks. In fact, in the movie, anytime the actors are carrying the blasters and not firing them, those are dummies. Those are lightweight dummies, because the working ones were too heavy to be walking around with constantly, which makes I'm not trying to make the actors sound weak. It's just in filmmaking, a lot of times you're doing the same action over and over and over and over and over again, and it becomes like a workout after a while. And after working with these blocks that are considerably smaller than the blasters, yet still stupid heavy, I get it. I get why they'd want dummy blasters. When the glue dried, I had a basic blaster. That looks kind of good on its own. Just give it a coat of black and you got a heart of sand weapon. But for the purposes of this video, we must go on. Wrap some tape around the dowel just to thicken it up a bit, and then slid the barrel over it. The tape holds it firmly in place without the need for glue. Now for the grenade launcher. Made a holding rack for it to hang below the barrel. Added more scrap foam. You know, I'm always using scrap foam, and that pile never gets any smaller. Eventually I'm gonna have a ball pit of foam. I attached it, but to keep it from flopping around, I need to attach it to the end of the barrel as well. I did that using a little triangle of foam with the hole drilled in the middle, and at the top point, well, one of the points, they're equidistant. I repeated that shape down the length of the barrel because it was easier than cutting all of the notches in the side of a long flat piece on either side, not to mention sturdier. For the lower barrel, I'm just going to use a regular cardboard tube painted black with a section of metallic colored tubing from an Estes rocket that's slightly wider, so it just slid over the top of that. That'll eventually be the shell ejector. This was left over from a ZF-1 build. Next, I bulked it out with more scrap foam so it wouldn't be so wobbly. Then I used 2mm foam to make details, such as the hole for the shell ejector. I glued them on and then added these oval-shaped holes, which are part of the heat cowling to the side. All these details are repeated on the opposite side, by the way, except for the slide. I switched to super glue for those because it's less messy, and I used more 2mm to patch up other spaces. And just to prevent dents, I used some of the cut-off puzzle pieces to fill out the interior. I do that a lot, and also, I still never run out of them. Next, I made the radiator. Heat cowling? You know, I could actually look up these terms, but then who would correct me in comments? I did that by cutting so many ovals into the thing. And, you know, right here, this is actually a good place to do 3D printing because that would save a ton of time and come out a little crisper. But I did the math, and it would take more time for me to fix my 3D printers than to just do this by hand. That's always the metric I'm running. When they were all cut out, I wrapped it around the lower barrel. Next, I made the pump action grip by heat forming a piece of 3/8 inch thick EVA foam into a U shape. I glued that on because I don't actually need to deal with the pump action for this. It's not important to me, but it does need the grip pattern. That is important to me. Priorities. So I used a half dowel for the aft portion and a half triangle bevel for the bow section. We're using nautical terms. Avasti mateys. Here there be monsters. I used 2mm foam for the intermittent grips. I added some final 2mm details, and that's about it for the actual blaster itself, which makes a decent sci-fi prop on its own, but we're not done yet. So let's do the casing. The original casing was aluminum, and it shows. Like if you see those actual props in like a sci-fi museum, they're dented and crushed like a soda can. So I'm gonna stick with the foam. Luckily, I still have some green left over from the Hydra Stomper, or maybe the Pip-Boy, I don't know. The actual ones in the movie were painted brown, and I do have brown EVA foam, but they did a lot of creative lighting in that movie. Maybe the show. There's variants in the show anyway. But they did a lot of creative lighting in that movie, and they came out looking army green. At any rate, I cut that out, then drilled holes with hole punch. Before gluing it on, I rounded some of the edges on the belt sander, but not as dramatically as I did on the handle. Then I glued the siding on. Then I added the magazine walls. I used scrap green to complete the outer frame. Some of these pieces I had to slice in half because I can't find 3mm foam anywhere. Now for the grips. I used 2mm black foam and laid them down one at a time. Then I connected the top handles with a pyramid shape in front and back. Pyramid? Yeah, sure, whatever. Parallelogram? I had to hold them in place with bizarre chunks of metal until the glue solidified because there's a lot of tension in the foam trying to pull itself apart. Then I added a horizontal strip and then a magazine. It's not necessary, I just thought it adds some character. Now for the stock, just an L bracket, just a really thick L bracket. I made it out of the puzzle strips with, well, various puzzle strips, minus the puzzles. And when it was all glued together, shoved it in there. I cut up various pieces of scrap green foam and glued them in horizontally to stabilize the green casing and close it all up. Then I added a bunch of detail Greeblies. I used 2mm gray foam to make the plate and metal add-ons. I also made the frame of the ammo counter. You can put a real digital counter in there, but this is the sort of thing that I just do in post because I have a lot of stock footage of explosive countdowns, you know, for bombs. Is that siren for me? Allegedly, hyperbolically, allegedly. Support me on Patreon so I can afford soundproofing. It's just triangles. Then I used all the circle offcuts from before to make fake rivets. Finally, I added the triggers. And keeping with the whole Blade Runner universe motif, it has multiple triggers. That joke is for 5 Decker Blaster nerds. And I used some random plastic Greeblies for the extra details, like the bolts, strap loop, and lower muzzle. Lastly, I did a very light amount of weathering with black and metallic paint. Black is for the crevices and silver is for the edges. I also painted the screen black so that it would be easier for me to comp in the ammo counter. And that's how to make alien repellent. Now I'm ready to go on a bug hunt. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is the sort of video that I used to do all the time and I'm sort of moving away from because the YouTube police can't tell the difference between real blasters and prop blasters, and it cuts into my ad revenue. But I am so sick of pandering to the ad revenue that I just decided I'm gonna take a loss on this and just build one of my favorite blasters, not only for me, but for my audience. And I'm just gonna gamble that I can survive the hit. So if this is the content that you wanna see, you know, something made by a human instead of being corralled by AI? Then think about heading on over to the Patreon, where you can support content by humans for humans. Alright, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified of the future uploads, because it's kind of at a totally random schedule. And let me know what other props you'd like to see me make in comments down below. Thanks again, happy crafting, see you later!